7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 20.
The Marathon, $2,620 buy-in, 100-minute levels, 26,200 chips to start. It's a 5-day event, so we're on day 1 of 5, no re-entry. Late reg till second level of day 2, one of the sickest structures imaginable. Game plan going in is to do the opposite of what I think my opponents are going to do, and that means we're going to be super aggressive. They're probably thinking, hey, it's a marathon, I can just wait around, wait for good spots. We're going to go after every spot. 3 bets, C bets, barrels. It's going to be very volatile, but should be profitable in the long run. You got to get lucky to win a tournament, so we're going to try to make our own luck today. See you guys on day 2. Upon arriving at my table, I'm in seat 2, and seat 1 is Symbol Guy from the World Series of Poker main event. That's right. The psycho that clashed the symbols behind me when I busted at the end of day 2 is sitting directly on my right. There's 2 ways I can go about this. I can berate him all day long and make the situation as uncomfortable as possible, or I can say nothing, not engage, and just play my game. Focus on this big buy-in tournament. It's a tough choice, but I think I'm going to go with plan B. Let's just win all the chips, win all the money, the glory, and then I'll be the real winner. With blinds at 5,100, middle position makes it 300. I'm in the small blind with Queen Jack of Spades. 22,000 stack, I make it 1,200. He asked to see my stack. We all started together. I've lost a few small pots. We're 250 blinds deep. Eddie puts in the 4-bet to 3,300. Queen Jack, no good from the small blind, and we fold. With blinds at 5,100, Psycho Symbol Guy open limps. I read this as weakness. I'm next to act with pocket 10s. We're 7-handed, so I raise it up to 500 off a 22K stack. Small blind calls and Symbol Guy calls. We're 3 to a flop. The flop comes 8, 8, deuce, 2 hearts. I have the 10 of hearts. Great flop for my hand. Small blind checks, Symbol Guy checks. I bet 600. Small blind postures up, looks at the flop, and check raises to 1,600. Symbol Guy folds, and I think it's a pretty easy call. He could have a lot of flush draws, mid pairs, trying to find out where he's at. The turn is an offsuit ace, and he checks. I am somewhat afraid of ace-x of hearts, but I think it's more likely he's just trying to pot control one of his smaller mid pairs. So I want to go for value, get value from his flush draws that want to continue out of position, and his mid pairs. If he has me beat, let's keep the damage to a minimum, so I do the same bet, 1,600. He calls. The river's an offsuit 4. He checks. I don't think I can get much more value from his mid pairs, so I'm happy to go to showdown. I check, and he shows. What's he got?
Not sure. What does he got?
Pocket jacks. Got me pipped by 1. I have to muck, and the table's thinking, what the hell was this guy bluffing with? Nope, just getting coolered. Second best hand. Now coming back to 75, 150. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon.
Just a small town girl living in a lonely world.
With blinds at 100, 200, we're in middle position with pocket 7s, make it 525. Cutoff calls, Dutch in the big blind calls. The flop comes 5, 4, 3 rainbow. Pretty much the best flop we can hope for. So we put in a bet of 800, half pot. for value, obviously. Probably just fold if someone raises this. They're repping sets, 2 pairs, straights and shit. Both players call. So we're probably still good. Hopefully there's a safe card on the turn. The turn brings an 8, which is kind of interesting. 8-6 now beats us, and 8-7 now beats us if they were floating with the overs and gut shot draws, or 8-6 for the open-ended. Dutch checks in the big blind. Action is to us. I don't really want to just give a free card and check call the button if he bets. So I'm just going to stay with relentless aggression and fold to any resistance. So we bet 1,800. In position folds. Dutch goes deep into the tank. I'm praying for a crying call or just a fold and we can take it down. He eventually folds. 7s are good. And we're on break with 20,000 from our 26,000 starting stack.
He took the midnight train going anywhere. Just a city boy, born and raised in South Detroit. He took the midnight train going anywhere.
The blinds at 150-300 with a 25 ante. Under the gun +1 makes it 700. I'm under the gun +3 with 9-8 of clubs. We're now 9-handed for the rest of the tournament. I put in the 3-bet to 2,000 because I've been pretty tight. Action folds around to him and he says, "You've been pretty tight." I'll fold. Raise pocket jacks to 800. Button calls and the blinds fold. The flop comes ace, queen, 5. Normally I just check fold here against this tight old guy, but I want to try something different and I bet 300. He folds. Hey, that works. I should do that more often. Maybe I shouldn't have a checking range at all. Maybe I should just bet different sizes depending on my hand strength and other factors. 22,000 on dinner break, going to 250-500. Trying to hop in a little pot limit Omaha game.
Peter B. and Randy W. for 5-5 pin. Second call for IBN.
Open 57. Yes. Raise 20.
A singer in a smoky room, a smell of wine and cheap perfume.
With blinds at 250-500, action folds to Peter Neff, aka #1 pen in middle position. He has about 35,000, and he looks at me and asks to see my stack in the big blind. It's usually a sign of weakness. I don't know how well he balances this. He's asked me a few times, but it's usually a concern to see if they're going to have to call my shove because they have a marginal hand. So he makes it 1,200. White European male from the Czech Republic makes it 3,500 on the button off a 18K stack. I'm in the big blind with 20K, and I look down at pocket 9s. Is this the time to put in the cold 4-bet? Sometimes in tournament poker, you have to be willing to die. I shove all in. Peter folds, and Czech Republic folds. We take it down. Nice 5K pickup. And then some. We're now on the last break of the night. 100 minutes remaining of play. 35,000, all-time high. Really on an upswing. Feeling good. Let's finish out strong.
Mày vô champion á, mỗi thằng mà champion có lắc á, để đem hết, thua bị knock out là mắc lắc.
For a smile they can share the night. It goes on and on and on and on.
Monster Dong opens middle position to 1,300. I'm in the small blind with King and Queen of Diamonds. 3-bet to 4,500 and he folds. The button opens to 1,300. I'm in the small blind with Ace 9 of Spades. I make it 4,500 and he folds. With blinds at 300, 600, we open to 1400. Pocket nines off a 35,000 chip stack. Action folds to a 70-year-old man on the button who shoves all in. He has 8,600. Small blind goes in the tank and eventually folds pocket eights, so he says, after the hand. And we call with pocket nines. Old man shows ace queen offsuit. Flop comes ace jack deuce. Turn is a jack. River's an ace. Table congratulates and he celebrates. No love for my good call. All the love for the guy that just took 25% of my chips. A very weird table dynamic has developed over the last 10 hours of play. Same table, same people. Asian to my left, tank folds every single pot I enter. Only when I enter a pot. 30 seconds, look at me, fold. Every time. I don't know why. I don't break character. I haven't berated him. I don't get it. But I mean, I've 3-bet or opened, I don't know, 50 pots today. Every time. And he always folds. He's never played a hand against me. Iranian has a sizing tell. Closer to min raise is weak. Closer to 3x is strong. He opens for 1,300 at 3,600 under the gun +1. I'm in middle position with ace deuce of clubs, so I 3-bet to 3,800. Asian on my left, who always tanks whenever I act, thinks about 5 seconds this time and makes it 15,300. Very reliable tell. Everybody folds, and I'm sure he had a monster. The very next hand after the Iranian opened, I 3-bet and the Asian cold 4-bet and I folded. Iranian opens under the gun to 1,600 this time, so I'm guessing he has a slightly stronger hand. I look down at pocket queens, 20,000 chips. I 3-bet to 5,100. Asian tanks and folds. Back to the Iranian, who asks how many chips I have. He has 35,000 and he shoves all in. It's gonna be a cold day in hell before I fold queens, especially with this history we have. He mean mugs me and I call. He shows pocket aces. What are the odds of that? Flop comes king, queen, 10, 2 hearts. Nobody has a heart. The turn is a 5, and the river's a 3. We get a double. We now have 41,000 chips. What'd you think? Just because I'm driving that I'm on the drive of shame? I balance my hand history recall range. So never assume just because I'm walking away from the Rio, I'm out. Quite the opposite. We bagged, we tagged, we're on to day 2 of the marathon.
Don't stop believing.
Sign up on ACR and RaiseYourEdge.com. Stay tuned, hit the notifications, and subscribe for part 2. Should be a good one.